Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Mr. Gabe, Matt Seibel. We are back up to the Fight Mixer, y'all. And we are here with the four-time world champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, owner of Kaiju MMA and Fitness, Mr. Gabe. Gabe, what's going on, brother?
Oh, I'm talking about Matt. What's going on? Everything's good.
How you been doing, brother?
Good. Feels good to be back. Feels like some time has elapsed and we cleared everything out. Feels clean and like a fresh new thing of laundry. Feels good.
Awesome. And we are here also with the owner of Bare Knuckles Most Wanted, the management company that slaps harder than Will Smith, drops more pennies in a season work for Victoria's Secret, Mr. Matt Seibel. What's going on, brother?
Not much. Just getting back at it.
Looks a little more streamlined, this guy, huh? Looks like Matt lost a little bit of LBs, if I'm not mistaken.
A little bit.
And by the way, I promise our sponsors that I'm not going to curse this entire episode. So, like, a curse jar is actually going to be set up. I'm going to go through this entire episode and attempt to not curse. So, this is going to be a big thing for me. So, we have rebranded. Obviously, the website is now relaunched, fightmixer.com. We have our stores that are going to be open. If you want, if you're a fighter and you want to open up your own store, again, we're 50-50 right down the middle, 50-50 the way the world should be. If you want to open up your own store, go on fightmixer.com, go to store, and you can sign up whatever sport you're in. Also, we have a forum that's set up for uncensored shit talking, shit posting, memes, whatever you want to talk about, you can post on the forum. Just join the Fight Mixer website. Also, we have news articles. If you want to author and be, and write your own articles, we have that as well. Also, we have the pound for pound rankings. We're in a little bit. You can vote and nominate. Starting Friday, you can nominate your favorite media companies, favorite fighters, favorite promoters, favorite promotions, favorite announcers, everybody. And you guys, the winners, will get plaques, prizes, all that fun stuff. And members will also get prizes every single month as well. So, freaking awesome. A lot of good stuff going on. Besides, the last time we spoke, we weren't in the midst of a freaking war right now. So, wow, time flies. And,
that's right.
Thanks,
Mr. Putin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Putin. And it's so weird, too, because this is, like, touching also the fight community. Like, I saw an article where I think the Bellator fighter actually pulled his title from the rubble, and also the Klitschko brothers are now in war. Like, Gabe, what do you think about that? You want to talk about this subject?
I mean, now we're going current events with fighters. I mean, Asimov is the welterweight champion of Bellator, undefeated, gangster ass welterweight out there now fighting for his home country. The Klitschko brothers, I mean, if you don't know the Klitschko brothers, you don't know anything about boxing. They're both out there on the front lines. I believe that I'm not sure which brother, but one is the mayor of Kyiv. And they're out there on the front lines. And then what's his name? The gangster ass boxer. I can't think of his name right now.
All right, dead spot. Titties.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at that. Boom. That'll wake you up.
If you guys get bored, don't worry about it. I got something. But watch it. So, like, every time the conversation runs on and there's a dead spot, don't worry about it. I'm going to go, bam, production.
Oh, there
bam.
We go. That'll wake you up. That'll wake you up.
Bam. And bam.
That last
we'll get your attention right back.
But, I mean, so like, the idea of that we have these pro fighters, professional fighters that fight for entertainment, go back to their home country to fight for their home country. And that actually leads a lot to what Putin said was that they be a walkover and that the Ukrainians would invite them in and it'd be over in a few days. And now we're going on 6-7 weeks. And these fighters that we watch, these pro fighters that we watch for our entertainment, they go to the front lines and say, you know what? I'm going to take up arms and I'm going to fight on a different level. And I mean, nothing but respect.
Sabo, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me, lady. Listen, I see you. Australia.
I think we may have totally overestimated Russian Putin capabilities because
F that, Matt.
should have been over very quickly.
Matt, I know your opinions. It's all Biden's fault, right? My Republican friend.
No, a lot of it started during Obama, but
I mean, there's some. Can we just blame Russia for effing invading? I mean,
how about we just blame Putin? How's that sound?
And let's blame Biden.
We installed a puppet there, so I mean,
I'm sorry.
Another. Wait, what did you say, Matt?
I said
What
we
was that?
installed a puppet.
Putin is a puppet?
No, not Putin.
The grandpa from Family Guy, who's our president right now.
Gotcha.
No,
Grandpa.
not the president. Well,
Not like the previous strongman that we had, right?
Ukraine president.
So guys, I have a question for you. So who hit harder? Putin hitting Ukraine, Will Smith hitting Chris Rock, or Kobe Covington getting hit by Masvidal? Which punch stole the show between those three?
Unfortunately, Will Smith, but it shouldn't have. What a non issue. But it's been it. I personally feel like it more than likely was, but
yeah,
who cares? Like of the things to worry about, it's so minor. And I think the Colby Masvidal is more important for fight fans, but more than anything is I think an actual war that has the potential for World War III holds far more weight than two sissy actors slapping each other on stage.
But it makes perfect sense why, like, how it could be staged and just being like conspiracy theorists. And by the way, if you guys comment, it'll pop up right here so you can actually join the conversation.
Ooh. Yeah,
oh, what's going on, brother? How you doing aside? What's going on, my man? So I think it is staged, and here's my theory why it is staged. Will Smith was about to win his first Academy Award, okay? And also Chris Rock was about to go on tour. He's a manufacturer. Please check his DMs, Gabe.
There you go.
They'll find you.
That's for Matt. Matt's going to check the DMs. I don't check my DMs. I don't even get involved in that stuff.
So it is definitely. I could absolutely guarantee my life because Chris Rock has a tour coming up. So I personally think to promote Will Smith and to also promote the upcoming, the Chris Rock tour that was completely staged. I absolutely guarantee it.
People have been talking about it more than they've been talking about anything else. And there's so many other issues that we have to deal with. The fact that people are talking about it is insane to me. It really,
here we are.
What was that?
And here we are talking about.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah.
That fight looked as real as Juicy Smoulé's fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You can't fool me, baby. But like, so
train wrecks.
So we got to talk about Kobe Covington fighting. This is a big topic that we want to talk about. So, like, Kobe Covington, he's been on my podcast. I know who Kobe Covington is as a person. I actually texted him congratulations and respond back when he fought Jorge Masvidal. And he beat Jorge Masvidal, wrote it out to a decision, dominant wrestling, dominant performance by Kobe Covington. And they said some smack heading into this battle. Like, they said some serious stuff. And there were former teammates. Also, there were former colleagues who trained at an American top team, former roommates. They went through hell and back together. I mean, but after the fight at a bar, and I think, Gabe, you would have more insight to this than I would, but like after the fight, like a week or two after, Masvidal runs up on him and punches him in the back of the head, or runs up with a bunch of people. Like, what happened?
I would know I'd have more insight than you. I don't really follow too much, and I certainly don't get involved in nonsense like that. But from what I understand is Kobe was having dinner. I'm not sure if he was sitting outside waiting for the restaurant or what. But he was sucker punched. He was there. So it's weird because people said that he had multiple people with him, but no one else attacked Kobe, but George himself. And then my understanding is that Kobe ran into the restaurant and then called the police like a snitchy little bitch. Yeah, and then I'm sure Masvidal took off, and then charges. Well, so interestingly enough, and I've seen memes about this, Chris Rock got smacked on national television, and he did not press charges.
Right.
All I'm saying is Chris Rock is more of a G than Colby Covington.
I think he actually is pressing charges now.
What's that?
I think he is actually pressing charges now.
No way. Really?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I thought that was all that was squashed. I mean, I thought that was all like squashed when we. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I thought they squashed it. They apologized. Yeah, my kitty was in the background, Patty. And
I saw.
She's fat. She's fat. You can't miss her. I apologize. But like, nevertheless, that's why I think it's staged. It's because Chris Rock and Will were so quick to apologize to each other, and with Colby Covington and Masvidal, that was obviously a real fight, and it wasn't for the cameras too. Nobody caught a video of that shot, but and I know you say you're such a little bitch and everything like that, but that was the best punch that landed between their rivalry. That was the best punch of the entire fight.
There's a couple of things there. Like I don't agree with sucker punches.
No,
right? If you have beef with people, then like you at least own up to them, let them know what's coming.
Yes,
but why call the police? There's no reason to call the police. Like if Colby was a man, like he would probably go to top team and be like, hey, I want a closed door match with Masvidal, and let's do this for real. That would be and again, like if especially someone that I beat up, I basically manhandled, and then that person were to smack me on the street, I would just get them in the gym and be like, what's up, son? Let's do this again. No time,
But I think coming from behind, sneaking up like a rat and punching somebody, I mean, that's not gangster whatsoever. And Jorge Masvidal, and I have
that is gangster. That is actually like gangsters don't do stuff to their face. Gangsters do shit behind people's back.
Yeah, that's why
that is absolutely legitimately gangster shit. Now, I don't agree with it. I just said I don't agree with it. Like, you don't sucker punch. Like, look, I respect the fact that he said on site, but on site is like, what's up, man? I'm here. Let's go. Boom.
Yeah.
Not like you don't know I'm here and across the face. I don't agree with sucker punches. I don't agree with that at all. But I also don't agree with calling the police when you get punched.
Sure.
What was that?
That's more of a manly slap than I felt. Like, like you gotta go face to face with somebody. Like, if you're gonna beef with somebody, especially after the fight. And Jorge, he had 5 rounds to hit Colby Covington as much as humanly possible, and he was not able to pull the trigger. Do you know why? Jorge Masvidal was so timid fighting Colby Covington because he was so worried about that freaking takedown. It is a completely different fight when you fight somebody that has superior wrestling, because you refuse to commit to punches, you refuse to go heavy on your lead leg and really sink into those punches and go to the mat and load up. And Jorge Masvidal had months and months to train to get his wrestling on point where he felt comfortable enough to engage better. He had 5 rounds to punch Colby Covington in the face. Why wait after the fight in a restaurant without cameras going to punch him in the face and from behind? That's my only take on it. If I have a beef with somebody, it's going to be face to face. Hey, I want to fight you. You want to fight me? Perfect. Bam. Let's go. But come on, man. Come on. I don't think. And you know what? Rightfully so. Like he should have gotten. He should have called the police. I mean, who does that? Like if it's not mutually agreed upon, I mean, no way. Will Smith ended his career. Agreed on the sucker punches. Make him pay later. Yeah, that's a good point. But I have a disagreement about that.
Okay, you can be wrong. It's fair.
It's okay to be wrong once in a while.
No, it's okay to be wrong.
Opinions are just that, and I agree that the sucker punch shouldn't have happened, and I think that is a kind of a punk move. Not kind of, it is a punk move. Like I actually kind of respect the fact that he said on site, but on site is actually making eye connection and being like, yo, what's up, man? Let's go. That I would have, but why call the police? Why get the police involved? What are the police going to do? Like Now I understand that we're supposed to be civilized and this and that, but fuck out of here, man. Like you're not gonna like really get anything back from involving the police.
Oh, my fiance just said David Potter is so hot. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow.
I actually texted you that.
Oh yeah, sure.
You forwarded the text, so that's nice.
And also, another debate we wanted to have was, you and I were actually, we said we were going to say this for the show, and what better platform is Patty Pimblett. Come on, real deal, baby, real deal. And I knew it. I knew it.
Okay,
totally the real deal, baby.
Okay, so he's 2-0. He hasn't fought a real, like, not even a gatekeeper at 55. And let's be honest, 55 is a murderer's row to get even the top 20. To get to the top 20. And the reality is, I can't even name the top 20 because there's so many good guys. He's not the real deal in the respect of I don't dislike him. He seems like a nice enough kid. Like, and I think he has the ability to talk, and he's doing the right things by like causing beefs and being in the front. But his last 2 fights, the guys, he didn't go through them. They had moments where they could have beat him, and they weren't the guys that you're like, holy crap, these guys are going to be stars in the division. So you said he was going to be as big as Conor. No way. And that's the other part. So here's the other part about that is after Conor, the UFC understands that they cannot give one fighter that much power.
Yeah, but they gave Chuck Liddell, like, you have to go within the system. So let's just go back to all the poster children of the UFC. Let's just go back to Tito Ortiz. He didn't go with the system. He started, especially when Zuffa just purchased the UFC. Tito Ortiz was the poster child. Chuck Liddell was the guy to get rid of all the tough guys so Tito Ortiz would not have to be bothered with them. I mean, let's look at Tito Ortiz's run. I mean, he fought Elvis Sinistic. He fought Evan Tanner, who was way smaller than him. He fought against the janitor.
Kondo.
Yeah, Yuki Kondo. He beat Yuki Kondo. Also smaller than him. He was supposed to fight Vitor Belfort at Victory in Vegas in September 2001, and then Vitor Belfort got injured, and there comes in the janitor, which was a boring fight, got cut off pay-per-view, and it was the second worst thing to happen September 2001. It was probably one of the worst events.
I was actually impressed with that fight because I thought Vladi was going to walk through him as far as the wrestling goes. But
you thought Vladi was going to walk through him? No way.
I thought, dude, Vladi is a really good wrestler, and I've trained with the guy and been in the room with him. At that point, I thought Vladi would walk through Tito as far as wrestling goes. And the fact that Tito won that fight, now admittedly is boring and it was a snooze fest, but the fact that he beat Vladi was impressive to me.
Right, you're a black belt, and obviously you've been through the sport, so you always get the last word with everything. So we'll just take that as fact. So, Mr. Gabe, bow down, nerds, bow down. So, anywho, and by the way, shout out to Brittany. Is it time for Britain yet? So Britain is going to be on at 9 p.m. a part of the block. They're going to be on at 9 p.m. for Bare Knuckles Insiders, and I can't wait for that show. And we have special guests that are coming on that show, and I think you guys are going to like it. So, nevertheless, and shout out to Brittany. She's one of the best announcers, by the way, and shout out to her. She's awesome. So, anywho, let's just go down. So, Tito Ortiz was supposed to fight Chuck Liddell, and Tito Ortiz kept backing out, finding ways to back out. Oh, Ken Shamrock obviously kind of rehashed that beef after Tito Ortiz beat Guy Mesner and put on the shirt that says Gay Mesner is my B word, and put on that shirt. And obviously we're going to do that fight. And coming off of Ken Shamrock's WWE career and then going to Pride FC and fighting Kazuyuki Fujita, fighting Alexander Otsuka, and all that good stuff, no problem. And going off of that, obviously there was momentum there. So Ken Shamrock, was still a threat to Tito. Great fight. It happened at UFC Vendetta, November 2002. And then Tito Ortiz, after hyping up the fight between him and Chuck Liddell, says, I have movie commitments and I don't want to fight for the money getting paid if you ask me. That's when UFC completely turned their back and said, this is not our guy. We're going to make him look like dog crap for the remainder of his career, and that's what they did. He went against the machine buried him. Ronda Rousey went with the machine, went with the grain. As soon as she started doing movie commitments and going outside of the system, that's when they hammered her. Chuck Liddell went with the system, the biggest star during the MMA boom in the United States. George St. Pierre has always went with the system. As soon as he did it and said, hey, I have headaches, bad migraines, he was hung up to dry. And Dana White, that very press conference, said Johnny Hendricks beat him. He made him look like crap and yada, yada, complete crap all over George St. Pierre. Paddy Pimblett and Conor McGregor, the same thing. When he went against the system, that's when UFC started burying him, saying how much he's getting arrested, how much he sucks, and yada, yada, yada. You have to go with the system. You have to have the machine. You have to be in with the machine, or else the machine will bury you. And Paddy Pimblett understands this. And I think with good management, oh, come on, man. He doesn't look like that. Come on. Stop bad mouthing my boy, baby.
I thought that was a Paddy Pimblett picture, actually. I thought that was
Stop it.
Let me give you, what's your opinion about Paddy Pimblett? Do you think he's going to be the next Conor McGregor?
I think so. Dude, he is so entertaining. He has such a great personality. He has the right manager, and shout out to his manager. His manager is awesome. Great guy. Hopefully we get Paddy Pimblett onto the show, but come on, man. He's got the right people behind him, and Dana White loves him. Dana White as soon as Paddy Pimblett got signed from Cage Warriors, it went from 6 to midnight with Mr. Dana White. He saw dollar signs. And, they sold out England. They just sold out. And Paddy Pimblett was on the undercard. I mean, if he really goes, can we stop talking about Paddy Pimblett, please?
I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting here. I don't have the capability of doing that.
That was all him.
I don't have the capability of doing that.
I personally think if you go with the system, you're going to be successful and you're going to be the biggest star ever. That's how Conor McGregor got that fight with Floyd Money Mayweather. And that's how the impossible happened, in the realms and under the confines of a publicly traded company. I see Paddy Pimblett being that guy that goes with the system, doesn't get arrested. He's also got a beautiful fiance, beautiful kid. I think Paddy Pimblett is going to be the future of the UFC. Bottom line.
Yeah, I disagree. I want the kid to have success. And I really hope that he has a good career. He at 55. And so what are his options? He's too big for 45. 70 is another murderer's row.
Yeah.
I think he's just in a really, really bad, precarious situation. And when it's all said and done, unless the UFC wants to keep feeding them, they can't keep feeding him and getting him built up. But at some point, he's going to have to fight somebody. And that's going to, unfortunately, maybe his skill sets, he's still a young kid, right? He's like 24, 20.
No, he's like I think like 27 or 28, and he's had a great run in Cage Warriors. He's a former Cage Warriors world champion. The same promotion Conor McGregor won 2 belts in. And nevertheless, he fought stiff freaking competition within Cage Warriors. And Paddy Pimblett, when he got signed, I mean, I might be biased because I'm a Sakuraba fan and he wore Sakuraba shorts, so obviously I'm biased and I'm cheering for him for all the wrong reasons. But nevertheless, I'm glad he's making these mistakes now because his style is so wide open, and he's also And
I hope he has success. I hope he has success. I'm not in any way saying that I don't want the kid to have sex. Whoa.
Sex?
Success.
You don't want the kid to have sex.
I don't want him to have sex at all. As a matter of fact, if the kid never has sex again, I'll be a happy man. He'll be doing us all a favor because he looks like that kid that Matt keeps putting up. And
Stuart,
let's be honest, we don't need more of those kids running around. Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go. So,
we're back. We're back. Look, I want success for the kid.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's going to be.
As long as he makes mistakes now, and this is what happens, like they're building him up. He's fighting competition outside of the top 25. Because if you look at it, top 25 is murder's row. Right when you get to number 25 in that weight class, that's going to be murder's row, and it leaves zero room for error. So as long as he makes these mistakes now and not later when he cracks into 25, he's going to be good, I think.
Well, I think the hard part is going to be those 25 are going to be looking at him as an easy meal.
Maybe.
And probably calling the matchmakers like, hey, I'll take that Patty kid. Like, I mean, I really want to, I want a piece of that Patty kid. But look, I hope he has success. I hope that I'm wrong.
Yep, maybe.
We're gonna say.
And
Go ahead.
Oh no. So I was gonna go into the next topic. So Matt, by the way, and we were gone and kind of on a hiatus while this was going on. But Matt, congratulations to him. His management company has their first champion. So congratulations to Bare Knuckle Management, Christina Ferreira beating Britain Hart. An outstanding fight from both of those girls. Outstanding. Like a bare knuckle masterpiece from both those gals. Matt, what's your feedback from the event, from Knucklemania 2?
Britain's a tough girl, man. She took a good beating and kept coming.
She took a good beating. Wow, that's your take, Matt.
That's my take.
Takes a good beating.
Yeah, she held it together in there. I mean, I knew it was going to go that. I knew it was going that way, but I mean,
I think once Christina got comfortable in the second round, like she ran away with it. And the scorecards had one scorecard had Christina Ferreira winning by 1 round, and the other scorecards had her winning by 2 rounds. I had it by 2 or 3 for Christina Ferreira. I thought it was a great performance, a great demonstration of her skill set. And I think she's just an animal. She's a monster. And Britain Hart.
Christine always starts slow, so
yeah, computing data.
A couple rounds, you gotta.
I didn't watch it.
Keep spilling it out.
I thought it was a great event itself, Gabe. You were missing out on a great show. I thought all the fights were good.
Listen, I watched the highlights of bare knuckle boxing after the fact. The thing is, I don't even really watch fights just in general. Saturday and Sunday nights are for my family. You know what I mean? Like, so I could either watch a really fun Disney movie with my kids, or I could watch fighting, and I'm going to go watch a Disney movie with my kids. Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Would you say that's the reason, because you kind of like checked out from the sport, especially because you're retired now, you own a gym, so you have to, this is now your job, so you have to pretty much do it 24/7, 365, and you already been through the process. So is that the reason why you don't watch fights? Is that the reason why you kind of like avoid the pay-per-views?
You just change priorities in your life. I still keep up on fights. I still watch the results, and I think it's important for me, and it's never, obviously I'm doing the show, so it's not out of my life, but it's, my priorities are different. I prefer if there's a good event, I'll probably watch it. But even like, I can't remember the last UFC fight I saw, but I'll watch maybe the fights that I really want to see. You know what I mean? Like I remember watching the your cat's doing her thing again. The Chandler Gaethje fight. I think it was the only fight of that whole, and that was the first fight on the main card. I remember I just watched that fight because I wanted to watch that fight, and then I turned it off and spent time with my family.
What fights are you looking forward to now?
Well, I think there's some good ones coming up. There's the is it Gaethje Oliveira? That's coming up.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the Volkanovski versus Korean Zombies coming up. The Sterling versus what's the guy's name? Yan? Is that it? Yan?
Peter.
Russian kid.
Is there going to be problems with that, considering with the whole crap that's going on with Russia, and like how's it going to? I heard that cornermen weren't able to fly out. That Peter Van was having troubles getting out. Like he's fighting against Sterling, who trains with a bunch of my buddies over in Ray Longo's gym. And shout out to them. They're excellent established Ray Longo women. Matt Sarah is one of my all-time favorite fighters and one of my favorite human beings on the planet. So Sarah Jiu-Jitsu does not mess around. They're preparing him for war.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yan trains out of Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think there's an issue with him getting there, but I did hear his corner were issues. But I mean, look, your cornermen are important to an extent, but when it comes time to fight, as long as you have people that are there to ensure you get water, so like for instance, for myself, I always had like certain people that made me feel comfortable for the fight. But as long as you can give me water, you can, prep me between the rounds, I'm in there doing the work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like whether I have the cornerman, which is my guy or not, it's not going to change the outcome of the fight. I really don't think that it holds that much weight. Now there are some cornermen that are really, really good at like dissecting each round between round, but I think for the most part, as long as there's people there, I think that a couple pros actually agreed to be his corner already, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know enough about that, but
and the MMA community is small enough where everybody knows everybody. Like this was prevalent, especially back in the day, back in Gabe's fighting, especially for like the IFC and the old UFCs that happened over in New Jersey when UFC had a temporary license. When Zuffa just bought it from SEG, like people didn't have cornermen. Like Elvis Sissik, going back to the subject of Tito Ortiz versus Elvis Sissik had no cornermen come with him from Australia. So literally pretty much picked people to be in his corner. So like, MMA community is small enough where he can just say, hey, you're a friend of a friend of a friend, and you, and disagree with me if I'm wrong, but like you can just pick people to be in his corner.
We had Shirley Carter on the card, and actually one of his WC fights, he came with no corner, and I can't remember, me and someone else were in his corner for his fight. It's just, we were there, like, sure, we know you well enough, and all we really need to do is ensure you get water, and you're going to go in there and do what you got to do. And that's happened to me a few times where I've just been there, and then like people don't have a corner, like, well, look, we're here, we know each other, we have enough rapport, and the thing is, you're the fighter, right? Like, there's not a whole lot we can do on our end. Obviously, if we see something that's happening, we're going to in between rounds. But the primary thing of the cornermen is to make sure that they get calm, they get water, they get ice, that they get everything that's necessary to go into the next battle.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And what other fights are coming up that you're excited for?
Those are the ones that are actually coming to mind. What about you there, Matt?
I know. I'm just not that big into the UFC, so.
Well, doesn't have to be UFC. It could be, any of the other organizations.
Pillow fighting. Pillow fighting.
Bellator has already got Mousasi set up against an 11-0 guy. I'm interested to see, because Mousasi is such a good, well-rounded fighter. I'm interested to see how he does against these up-and-coming new guys. And it's interesting because I feel like there is a transformation. There's going to be a lot of guys that we didn't hear about a year ago that are now coming up and being like, the up and coming stars.
You guys want to hear an exclusive that I haven't told anybody?
No.
So a friend of a friend.
I'm good.
Actually, yeah, sure. Why not?
No. So this is an exclusive. This is a mic drop moment that I'm going to drop on everybody. So I was talking to a friend, okay, who has deep, deep ties with the PFL. And guess who they might be signing?
David Potter.
Tito Ortiz.
Jake Paul.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah. They are almost past the finish line. And by the way, this happens, you can always say David Potter told you so.
Yeah.
And I was the first person that called Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather because I was actually talking to one of my buddies that were contracted to do PR and send out fillers. So back in 2016, 1 year before it happened, Mayweather's camp and Conor McGregor's camp got together and said, well, let's not release some news yet that we're talking, but let's put out feelers to see how the public reacts to this before, and we can have a build for a year and make this great money fight while Conor McGregor fulfills his fight commitments and while Floyd Money Mayweather goes back from retirement. So let's send out feelers like promotion. And they sent marketing material, I believe, to The Sun, and The Sun was the first people to break the news. And I broke it right after because I don't want to be that guy that Ariel Helwani, UFC 200, when he broke the news that Brock Lesnar was returning for, and then get bad with the promotion. I never want to burn bridges. So I, steal a trap. But nevertheless, talk to a friend, and that Jake Paul is in strong negotiations with the PFL, and he might be making his MMA debut in the next year and a half.
So do you think he'll be fighting first like a basketball player, or do you think he'll be fighting a boxer?
I don't know, my man, but apparently strong negotiations.
A new TikTok influencer.
He'll be going to MMA and he'll be fighting an amateur boxer.
He'll be eating the girl that eats all the candy really, really quick. The Korean girl who eats all the candy real quick.
I haven't seen that.
My wife.
Thanks.
So here's the ironic part. The moment me and my friend were going back and forth about this news, I think it was a day or two later, Jake Paul released a tweet saying, "Oh, I'm back in August." So putting two together will be boxing, PFL. I don't know, but Jake Paul could be making his MMA debut.
Jake Paul does have wrestling, doesn't he?
Yes. So Logan Paul was the better wrestler, and he actually placed in the States. Jake Paul, he was an exceptional wrestler. He knew concepts and basics, but never really got to the point where he was beating the studs of his division in his state. But nevertheless, I think Jake Paul has evolved very well as a fighter. My good friend Anthony Taylor, Pretty Boy Taylor, still trains with him. And shout out to Anthony Taylor, by the way. I was going to break the news because I found out before that Anthony Taylor is actually going to be fighting against Roy Jones Jr., which is also a crazy fight. I can't wait to see that. My good friend.
What?
Anthony Taylor is fighting against Roy Jones Jr.
What?
Yep. Actually, me and my fiance, I proposed to my fiance in Disneyland.
For what organization?
I don't know. I said enough. I said too much. But nevertheless,
so Roy Jones is he was my favorite boxer still is probably one of my favorite boxers of all time. In his prime, gangster beyond gang. Such a good, exceptional boxer, and now he's like 96 and still fighting, and it's a little sad, but
yeah,
I don't think that. Okay, that's okay.
Make your money. You know what? He's past his prime. I thought Roy Jones Jr. should have retired and I met Antonio Tarver the same weekend as the Jake Paul fight. Showtime hooked up me, my fiance, and we were able to sneak Matt in our little section. But security was lax anyway. But same weekend as he fought. Anthony Taylor fought against Nate Diaz's teammate on that card.
And lost, right?
Yeah, he lost by decision. Yeah.
It was a boxing match, correct?
Yeah, freaking heartbreaking, man.
I'm gonna say that Nate Diaz's training partner isn't remotely close to a Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, you could say that, but Roy Jones Jr. is also way past his prime and should have retired in 2005, 2004.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He won the bronze medal, the silver medal in the Olympics. I believe it was Seoul in 1988.
Stolen,
and that's right.
Stolen.
But that was revenge. That was revenge from 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles when we screwed over a South Korean boxer. So that was actually a revenge type
fair enough. All right, that's true.
Yeah, but Jake Paul, he's definitely evolved as a fighter. He's definitely evolved as a boxer.
Jake Paul lives in Calabasas, which is about 20 minutes from my gym, and he always picked the young kids to come box with them. I'm interested if any of those he's going to start asking around to bring people in to get him ready for a fight. So hopefully I hear something in my circles to kind of confirm that, because he usually goes through the people in the San Fernando Valley to look for sparring partners and whatnot. He's probably looking for MMA fighters, more so than I would love to go and do a round in his camp.
Dude, you're a black belt. You would murder him. It would.
No. So first off, being a black belt in jiu-jitsu means that you're very good at jiu-jitsu. I will tell you, I've trained with a lot of black belts that in just grappling are far, far better than I am.
How'd you do against Anderson Silva, by the way? You mentioned that you guys trained, but you never said how you did against Anderson Silva.
Oh, I murked him. There was nothing. I took him down. No. Dude, okay, so I only boxed with Anderson.
Right.
And it was, he toyed with me. He's got so much reach on me. It was playing. It wasn't even, I'm not and then training is training, right? There's no fight, but I have trained with one of the top 5 best grapplers of all time.
Yeah.
And when we did MMA, he wasn't even remotely close to my level. Not even close. Now, when we just grappled, I wasn't on his level. When we just grappled, I felt like a white belt again, and it was kind of embarrassing. But when it came to fighting, not even close to my level. So it's
yeah, but I think PFL would be a good promotion for Jake Paul to start. A Jake Paul, because even if you look at Carissa Shields, that she was getting 2 good opponents. Obviously, she lost her second bout, but PFL is very good about talent development, and especially like going at their speed and getting even matches. So, Jake Paul, could, anything could happen in the fight, I guess.
Well, so the thing is, when you bring someone like Jake Paul, you're bringing in an actual known commodity, right? Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is ruin a known commodity. So they're going to bring him in, and they're going to give him basically build me fights, and then once he gets 2 or 3, then he might fight someone that's a name, but like not a name. There are enough. And again, I think he's in his prime, was a very, very good fighter, but Diego Sanchez, like Diego is
shenanigans.
What was this? What am I missing?
I think we got. Wait, who's in the guy? What's going on, brother?
Damn it, you weren't supposed to tag me in. What the fuck?
What's going on, my man?
What's going on?
Same old, brother. What are you doing here? What's up? What's on your mind?
I mean, I'm not supposed to be in yet. Y'all were interviewing him, so let him have his time and then bring me in on the flip side.
Oh, we gotta give you a shout though. We gotta come in and say hello. What's going on? Thank you for being on the show. And so you're gonna be on Bare Knuckle Insiders with the great Britain and the great Matthew. And we're gonna be interviewing the mighty Boogeyman. So we will see you in just about 20 minutes, my friend.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll be back.
Cool.
All
right.
Who was that? Who is that? I don't know who this is.
He's Boogeyman.
He's sitting right next to me. I don't know who he is. Who's this guy?
I know who Boogeyman is, baby. Okay. And we have a part of our block, by the way. So we have Fight Mixer tonight, which is us. And then afterwards, in just about 20 minutes time, we're also going to have Bare Knuckle Insiders with the great Matthew and the mighty Britain, who is the wife of the great Bobo O'Bannon. So I can't wait for that show. And then afterwards, at 10 p.m. Eastern, we also have Strange Spy. 3 amazing women, beautiful women you'll be able to talk to. They'll talk about weird stuff. And they're great hosts, all have MMA backgrounds. They're awesome girls, and I can't wait for that show too. So just
I agree.
So continue, sir. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Don't kill me.
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. So it doesn't really
except Sambo. You don't like Sambo.
So. Who doesn't like her? David doesn't.
Gabe hates her.
I don't hate her. I actually really like her. She's just. Look at that.
Oh. Steve Urkel, right? Unbelievable, man. Yeah. Unbelievable.
So, Matt or David. Oh, there we go.
Oh, come on, man. Stop. I hate how people are talking crap about Patty Pimblett. I really hate all.
First off, oh, wow. Okay.
Stop it. Bro, we took away your rights and privileges. Oh, Sambo loves you, Gabe. By the way,
I give it back right here. 1, 2, 3.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Dave? Is there any fights coming up that you are excited about? Because Matt's too cool for. I don't do UFC.
I've been paying attention a lot to pro wrestling. I just did Heart Legacy Wrestling on Fight TV, which was an awesome experience.
Wasn't WrestleMania last night?
WrestleMania 1 was last night. Ronda Rousey killed it. Logan Paul did a good job also. Ronda Rousey did tremendous. She did an amazing job. My boy Cody Rhodes returned, which I was very, very excited about. Cody Rhodes, cool guy, and also the son of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Even you happen to know Dusty Rhodes, Gabe.
I know who Dusty Rhodes is. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a cool story that I never shared it with anybody. And Cody Rhodes, I don't know him personally, so just take this how it is. So my dad passed away April of 2015. His dad passed away in June. So I sent him. I shot him a tweet. Hey man, I'm going through it, man. I'm bummed out too, and I'm so sorry about your loss. Your dad was my dad's favorite wrestler, and you're one of my favorite wrestlers. So my condolences. He added me on Twitter a couple of days later. Even this was like a week after his dad passed away. He added me, shot me a quick message of encouragement. And it was like so cool of him. And then he disadded me. But he added me just so he can send me a DM and a direct message, which was really, really cool of him. So like Cody Rhodes left the WWE after being marginalized, came back, came to AEW, started his own promotion. And he went from like what, 500,000 he was making to now like 2.5 million. Like now he's doing gangbusters. Like he was marginalized and now he's going to be on the main card. So I've been paying a lot of attention to pro wrestling, and I got to commentate with Heart Legacy Wrestling on Fight TV, which was awesome. Great experience at the Fight TV crew was awesome, and the pro wrestlers were awesome. I got to commentate with your great buddy, Jake Hatton, who you guys were supposed to fight against each other, and he's an MMA pioneer, 15-2. Also, the great Scott Lewis I was able to work with, and working with the Hart family too. They need no introduction; they're pro wrestling royalty. And also, I have more commentating gigs this month, where I'm excited for what I got going on in Threshold. So I'm in negotiations with one of the quote unquote big MMA promotions. Non-disclosure, but I will dig a little bit deeper into that later. And also doing Flex Fight Series, commentating for them on the pre-show, and also ECF as well. So this month, super busy, the 23rd and the 30th. So I'm excited for the fights that I get to commentate for. And thank God I'm retired. I don't have to get punched in the head anymore. And, I get to commentate and hype up talented folks and be their hype man. So it's really, really cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man. How about you, Matt? Fights that you're excited for? Nothing
Nothing really, man. I've been so wrapped up in Christine that all I see is Christine's fights. I haven't been paying attention to nothing hardly anymore. So
that's the weakest answer I've heard ever.
It is what it is.
It's even weaker that if it's true.
It is.
I'm the best manager. Look at me. All I do is think about my clients.
I'm Mr. Manager.
I don't care about anyone but my clients.
I don't care. Oh, Matt, I don't watch any fights. Oh, Steve Urkel, but did I do that?
Did you happen to see the Demetrius Johnson? He fought that Muay Thai fighter, and they fought 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA, and that was going to be the alternate back and forth.
What was that on? Was that on ONE FC?
Yeah, one did Demetrius Johnson versus this famous Muay Thai fighter, and it was, I don't know how, I think it's maybe 4 rounds. I don't know how many rounds they were going to do, but it's 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA, 1 round. So I don't know if it was maybe it was a 5-round fight, but the first round, the Muay Thai guy, the first round was a Muay Thai round, and Demetrius was in some hot water, but he survived. And then subbed the guy in the MMA round in the next round.
God, I love ONE FC. If anybody has a chance to replicate the success of Pride FC and bring that Asian flavor back, it's going to be ONE FC. I love their promotion, man. I love
it. They allow kicks and knees to down opponents. That is a Pride staple, and it definitely changed the dynamic of the fights. I think the match like that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? To think like, okay, look, you're a specialist in this. We're going to give you an opportunity to finish it in your specialty, and then we're going to open up to MMA, and then we're going to give you back to your specialty. But it's kind of interesting format. You know what I mean? Like we're going to do 1 round under the rules that you fight, and then you have to do a round of everything, right? Yeah. Interesting.
So we'll let Gabe get the last word on that. But this is the first edition of Fight Mixer tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Obviously, we're going to kick it up to our good buddy Matthew, who's going to be hosting with Bare Knuckle Insiders. Matt, you're back, baby.
I'm so excited, guys. This is going to be so much fun. Look, it's been a minute, man. It's been too damn long, so we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm just going to tell you that, number one, I have the best co-host in the world in Britton O'Bannon. So Britt is amazing. Obviously,
I have the best co-host in David Potter.
Well,
and I have the best co-host with Gabe and Matthew.
Look, listen. Here's the deal. The team that our Fight Mixer team that we've put together is absolutely incredible. And guys, I'm just so excited to take on this journey with y'all, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? I can't say enough about Matt Seibel, who laid the groundwork for all of this. And listen, this is the guy that started it all. And I love your hat. I designed that hat. So that's really why I really like it.
Yeah,
but and I also want to speak to David Potter, because David has really, really and truly done more. Any of you watching, all right, that guy up there has done more work in the last couple months then I don't even know how you do it, dude. But it's incredible. The guy's traveling all around the country as a media personality at a very high level for professional wrestling and MMA, and absolutely killing it. And you know what? And not to mention your recent Hall of Fame induction, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You know, but to work with people like David Potter, Matt Seibel, Gabe Rudiger. Listen, it's an honor, guys, and I'm really looking forward to the direction that we're going to take this thing in, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Personally, I think it's going to be the tip.
Oh, and you know, listen, all right.
So let me wrap this up like a Christmas present. We'll get right to bare knuckle insiders, and we're going to wait for Britain. However, so we want to thank everybody for joining us for the very first episode. Gabe, final words from the four-time world champion and BJJ black belt, owner of the greatest school on the planet. Just kidding. There's plenty of great schools, but one of them.
But I'll take one at least the best in the San Fernando Valley.
Happy
to be back. Let's keep it going. I think we have some fun guests that we're talking to, and we'll bring on. We prior to us being done, we weren't doing too many guests, but I think we have to start bringing back some guests in different formats. And I'm just happy to be back in a cleaner, cooler format. So welcome.
And Gabe, are we talking Dan Henderson? Are we golden?
I mean, we don't have a specific date, but yeah, Dan Henderson. I talked to Dan, and as soon as I'm off this, I will actually text him, and he will not respond back. But
I'm gonna nerd out. Gabe, if you pull this off, just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go.
I'm not texting Dan anymore.
Right.
Hey, what words from owner of management?
Right.
The owner of Bare Knuckle Management, the man who now has his first champion in their stable of talent, Matt Seibel. Matt, any last words, brother?
Nope.
Man of few words. That's Matt. No, that's Matt. Man of few words. But when he does speak, you better listen.
Absolutely. So, guys, all my bros and in different area codes, I went through this entire episode without cursing. My sponsor, our sponsor, Warrior Island, must be so happy right now. Shout out to James Jefferson. But nevertheless, we're going to kick it up to Matt. After a word from our sponsors and in the intro, we're going to kick it to Matt. We're going to wait for Britain to come in, and they're going to have a great show for Bare Knuckle Insiders that is coming up next. Keep it locked on FightMixer.com. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for Britain, inductions and getting someone into the pound-for-pound rankings. We're having pound-for-pound rankings in media presence, like commentators, announcers, fighters. We're having fighters, athletes, promoters, best pound-for-pound. You can nominate your friends, nominate anybody. Go on the website. Starts on Friday. Nominate anybody, and then voting starts May 1st. And for the pound-for-pound rankings for June, you guys win plaques saying pound for pound number 1. It's really, really cool. Also join the forum. A lot of shit posting, a lot of memes you can post, all that good stuff on the forum. It'll be very, very cool, and we'll keep it groovy. Also, the Fighter store will be open where you can actually sell your own merch, and we make your own merch. Really, really cool concept. So go on the store. More gear is going to be available. More merch is going to be available. So you can also sign up for the store. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to go to Bare Knuckle Insider after a quick word from our sponsor. And then we're going to go to Bare Knuckle Insider with my boy Matt and the wonderful Britain O'Bannon. What's going on?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for Fight Mixer tonight. We're going to take it. Coming up next, Bare Knuckle Insiders. We'll see you later. Peace.